Hey, what's up, family? How's everyone doing? Happy Jupiter Day. Today's Thursday. It's associated with the planet Jupiter. And I am back with another story time. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing another story time today. And I've just been really inspired. I've had a lot of stories that have been really inspiring me lately, but today is a little interesting. And again, if you read the title, you probably already are like, well, what is this? What are they going to talk about? And so I'm going to be talking about my first, encounter with otherworldly beings, the Matrix, stuff like that. And yeah, again, I'm just giving you my own experience of what happened to me and how I experienced it. And so just you can believe it, you cannot believe it. I'm just telling you from my opinion what I believe just because of what I've experienced and how that came about. So yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. We're like halfway through this eclipse portal right now, so I know the energies are a little crazy and the energies are a little wild. And again, I'm sending you love, I'm sending you Reiki, I'm sending you all the energy you need. If you're just struggling right now, things are surfacing and you just don't have a handle on it, so just accept and receive this Reiki real quick. Awesome. Beautiful. Love you guys. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. And so basically, my first encounter happened actually in this room. This is when I did live here prior. I live with family, so this is when this was my room. Now it's my nephew's room. So again, so it was switched around. There was a lot. The room looked a lot different before. So it actually took place right in this room. So it's kind of, I don't know, I felt called to do it in this room to kind of just connect more with that energy. And so, yeah, so this was in 2020. It was like in the midst of the pandemic. We were in the midst of lockdown. Mind you, I was an essential worker at the time. So my life was just basically work and home. I didn't really do much else besides that. And so I was really, I was yearning. I was yearning to just go out, to go do something. I'm a rising Sag. We gotta go explore. I'm a nomad at my soul level, so I needed to like go out, and so I can't remember exactly like when, like what month or time frame this happened in, but all I remember is that I came up on some LSD. I had a cool amount of it, and so. And mind you, when the pandemic started, my full intention when the pandemic started was to become a hippie. Like, was to completely break from the matrix and, like, be a hippie. Like, hippie dippy, all I could be. If you can't tell, I'm pretty hippie dippy. So, that was my full intention. So, when I just had all this, acid laying around, I was just like, all right, I can't go on a trip. Let's take a trip. So, that was just my mindset and my thought. So, I started, you know, partaking in the psychedelic therapy quite a bit during this time, which I enjoyed because, again, it was more intentional, it was more therapeutic for me. I actually was using it to really heal a lot of things and, just shift and elevate my consciousness, I should say, actually. So that's what I was doing. And mind you, at this time, it's been, if you watched my story of my first time doing it, at this point, again, we're in 2020. I first tried it in 2018. So it's been about 2 years. I definitely have had way more experiences, festivals, time to connect with the, I'm gonna say medicine, just because I do see it as medicine if it's used in the right ways. And so, yeah, just to connect with it. And so at this point in time, I had just recently discovered, like, yo, I had went on a trip with my best friend at the time to go celebrate. So we went to Big Bear, and again, everything was still kind of locked down, so we couldn't really do much but stay in the cabin. And so, we decided to do it. And then at one point, I was just like, I need to like meditate or something. I was feeling just a little overwhelmed, and so I threw on some music and I just like went into meditation. Like, that was just a game changer for me. I was like, whoa, I was like, I had like the deepest and most like surreal and like astral meditation. And mind you, I'm not a big seer. I can see, given the right circumstances, place, substances, stuff like that, medicines, I should say. I don't like saying substances. And so, I'm more of a feeler than a seer. So when I was able to physically see so many things, I was like, yo, yes, this is what I've been wanting, because I feel like it helps me more to get a better understanding of things. So one night, just again, I can't remember the actual time frame. I was here in my room. I was chilling. My family was about to go to sleep, so I was just like, I'm gonna drop some, but like I'm gonna drop some, and I'm gonna set an intention, and I'm just gonna like, again, I wasn't doing it with the intention of like, okay, I'm just gonna do this and be lit. Like I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna like really set an intention of what I want to gain out of this, how I want to focus, and things like that. So I did it through the night because I don't want to really be disturbed or disturb my family because I wasn't sure how I was gonna react with it. And so once it was later in the night, you know, I set my intention, I did my prayers, and I was just like, okay, I want to connect. I want to connect with spirit. I want to connect with myself. I want to find deeper meaning. I set a really like way more extravagant intention into it, but I really just took that moment to set an intention. I lit up some candles. I made it all like, again, my witchy ass. I was making it a vibe. So I ended up taking a nap just because I was a little tired because it was late. And then mind you, I woke up around maybe like, it was after midnight. So it was between like midnight and like 2 a.m. I woke up from my nap, and, maybe like 10 minutes after I woke up from my nap, I was zooted. Like, I was already feeling it. I was like, all right, cool. So now that I was already kind of like feeling it, getting, going through that come up process and just like integrating into it, I was like, all right, let's get some work going. So I laid out my yoga mat. I made a whole crystal like grid circle around my yoga mat. Each one like each had like the crystals aligned with like the chakras and different colors. Like it was dope. Like I don't have any photos of it, but I basically I took that time to really just again set the intention, as well. I lit an incense. Again, I made it just a vibe because I was like, okay, I wanna just be here, and I wanna be present, and I wanna go deeper than I feel like I've been going, just because I feel like just in a sober conscious state, I wasn't able to get to like where I really wanted to get to at that point in my healing journey. So I was ready to just have a breakthrough pretty much. That was like kind of like the best way I could sum up my intention, was to have a breakthrough. So I do my yoga, which was beautiful because I could feel like, as I was doing my stretches, I could feel like each muscle, each tendon, each vein, each organ that was like being targeted with the specific poses. Like it was so cool. Like I could really just feel the breath moving through my body. I could feel it releasing any tension, any tightness, any dis-ease, like anything that was just in my body. I could literally feel it all being released. Since I was in that elevated state, it was great. I had like the best like yoga flow and stretching session. It was amazing. And so right when I'm getting ready to go into Shavasana, I have all my crystals laid around my yoga mat in a circle. And, I grab all my crystals and I start laying them on my chakra points, on my energy centers. I have them like in my hands, on my crown, all around me, on me. Like, I'm like decked out with crystals. You probably, like, if someone walked in, they'd probably be like, what are they doing? And so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let's get into it. Let's go into this meditation. Let's go into the Shavasana. Like, let's go deep. So I go in, I'm just seeing colors. I'm seeing just mainly colors, just colors and shapes. That's all I'm seeing in the beginning. It's more vivid than it usually is for me. So I was like, okay, cool, this is nice. And then, once I start just getting down deeper and deeper and deeper, I'm like, okay, cool. And then I start opening, activating, and clearing my chakras. And then it was so dope because I could feel literally like the actual center where my chakra points were. Like I could feel each one opening up and activating, and I could just feel like that energy, like orb, ball, wheel, I could just feel it. And it was so cool. I like, mind you, again, like at this point, it's like I was still like new to spirituality, or like not even spirituality, just like wellness, like spiritual wellness, like yoga, meditation, things like that. So, me combining kind of this like medicine, again, I'm gonna just say medicine because I see it as medicine, with my practice. It was just taking me to a whole nother place, a whole nother level, really helping me ascend. And again, I wanted a breakthrough, so I'm feeling these chakra centers activate. I'm like feeling all of this like energy. I'm seeing the colors. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm enjoying this. Like I'm really feeling like I'm getting a deeper healing than I'm used to doing on myself or getting. And at one point, after like the chakra alignment and activation and things like that, I'm just kind of like breathing and everything's just kind of black. And then I just start like shaking, and I'm like vibrating, and I'm just like, and like it's my leg, like my whole body, like I'm just like, okay. And then no matter how much I try to like breathe and calm myself down, like my body wouldn't stop shaking. I felt like the more I breathed, actually, the more I was like getting like an aggressive with the shaking. And I was like, what the hell is this? Why can't like I stop shaking? Like, and I started to like ask myself, I was like, I'm not cold, because I was like really trying to check in with like my senses. It's like I'm not cold, I'm not scared. It's like, is this anxiety? Like, what is this? I just kept questioning it because I was like, I don't know why I'm shaking. And as I was just going through this process of questioning where was this coming from, what this was, why I was feeling this, eventually I got to a point where I had this epiphany. I had the connection of, oh my gosh, like my physical body is literally like vibrating and ascending to the next frequency. Because again, everything is vibration. If you see everything as vibration, even like inanimate, like still objects are vibrating, even if it's at a short frequency. So everything vibrates in the universe because, the universe is sound. Like, we could go more into that, but I felt like what I came to the conclusion was is that like my physical body was starting to vibrate, and literally like I was shaking because I was literally like vibrating and ascending to the next frequency, my next level of vibration, the next level of ascension. Once I had that connection, my body just dropped. Like, I just dropped. I stopped shaking instantly. I stopped shaking immediately. And once I dropped, I literally felt like I not even just like dropped, but like I sank. Mind you, I'm just in Shavasana. Like, I'm laid out. Like, I'm not like, so I was just like, what the hell is this? And once I dropped, I saw like clouds. It looked like the gates of heaven, if I'm being honest. It was like clouds, these golden gates, and then they opened up, and when they opened up, like rainbows started shooting out, numbers started shooting out, like all types of just like beautiful, majestic, like enchanting, enlightening things were just shooting out of these gates, and I was just like, what the hell is this? And mind you, I'm in just in Shavasana, but like what I'm seeing, with my eyes closed and in that space, in that astral space, it was mind blowing. It was so mind blowing for me, just because again, I'm not a big seer, and so seeing things like that so physical in front of me, I was a little taken aback. I was definitely taken aback, but I wasn't scared. I was just really like interested. I was like, whoa, it's cool. I'm with it. So whatever. So all these things start coming out, and then I start just kind of like traveling through like different worlds, dimensions, things like that. And then, okay, this is the part where it gets a little like, I don't want to say scary, but I was a little like on edge, just because I don't know if you guys have ever been like half asleep when someone else is like in the room with you or something like that, and you could just, you could feel them moving around, you could like sense them walking around, or if like someone passes by the light, you can kind of see that quick like shadow like cross over your eyes, even though your eyes are closed, like something just passed over the light. I'm I'm literally feeling and kind of sensing and seeing that like there's something in the room with me, in this room with me. Mind you, it's like 3 a.m. I'm by myself. Everyone in my house is asleep, but I truly felt like I'm not alone in this room right now. Like, I was not alone in this room right now. And I was just kind of on that edge point of, do I freak out or do I just breathe? And I just kept bringing myself back to my breath. I was like, just breathe, you're safe, you're okay, you're divinely protected, like, you're good, because I always set in protection before I do like anything like deep astral work and stuff, because you never know what you're going to encounter in other realms. And so I just really like, okay, I was like, there is something here, but I'm just gonna keep it flowing, keep it going. I'm gonna see what else I get. And then, and it was weird because I felt like they were like, whatever it was jumping over me. Like, it was kind of like, again, I'm laying on the floor, I'm just in Shavasana, so I felt like something was just like jumping over me and around me. Like, it was crazy. And then and again, I'm laying down, so when I kind of like look, not like, again, I'm not looking because my eyes are closed, but when I like gaze up, there was like an angel light being standing on this side of me, and then it was like a shadow demon type of thing. It was like basically like light and dark aspects were just standing right on either side of me, and I was just, I don't know what to do. I was just like, damn, this is okay. I was like, angels, demons, I was like, they exist. All right, cool. I saw the gates of heaven open. I was like, okay, what does this all mean? What is going on? Like, mind you, too, at this point, I was not like atheist or anything. I feel like everyone has their own connection, religious trauma, stuff like that with God. I believed in a higher power. At that time, I didn't call it God per se, but I definitely became a believer of just something after this experience. But that definitely put me onto just game of angels are real, demons are real, lights are real, shadows are real, and just interchangeable like that. And so then after that, uh, this was the part that had me just truly like, uh, I again, I'm in Shavasana, so I'm laying down flat, but like my astral body went into like a fetal position. So I could feel my physical body was laying flat, but I could feel like my inner body was just like in a fetal position. And I went into like a womb. I was in a womb because I was like just in this enclosed bubble box. I don't know what it was, but then and like as I'm in this and I'm like in this position, I just hear boom boom, like literally a heartbeat, boom boom, boom boom, boom boom, boom boom, and I just again, there were so many points I had like that tipping point of like, should I freak out right now or should I just keep it going? And I decided to keep it going. Mind you, it takes a lot of will and strength and mental power to kind of not freak out in moments like that. So this is why I advise not to do anything. I'm just saying my own experience and how I'm able to just kind of come out of that. And again, I see psychedelic therapy as medicine, so just throwing that out there again. And so after being in that womb space for maybe like, I don't know, again, I couldn't even tell time, but I was in there for not too long. Y'all, when I tell you that that turned into like me being in like a cryo chamber and it opened and I literally could see like computers and tubing and just technology. Like I could just see everything outside of the matrix. Like I literally came out of the matrix and I literally came out of like I was the cryo chamber open and I could see it and whatever room or wherever the cryo chamber was, there was like a skylight. So I could see like, you know, through the ceiling and I just saw these like giant ass skyscrapers and buildings and skyline. Like it looked like another world. Like it looked like like what you would see in the movies, like in a utopian society. Like that's what the type of buildings and stuff. Like it looked crazy. It was like a purplish color too. But I saw it and I was just again. I'm in shavasana. I'm but everything is just so vivid and so in my face. And I was just in that point. Do I freak out or do I just keep it going? And I just kept it going, and then I was just taking it in. But y'all, I saw it. I saw what the Matrix looks like outside of the cryo chamber. Like when that door opened and like that, whatever I was in, whatever contraption I was in, it was just. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Like I literally can't explain it. Just know it was crazy, and what even tripped me out more. Again, another point where I was like, do I freak out? I could see like not like full detail, but I could see like a silhouette or shadows of some type of life being form kind of just like picking at me while I'm in the chamber. I'm not sure if they knew I woke up or not, like literally woke up like consciously. But yeah, I could see like once the chamber opened, like there was two figures, shadow figures like right there, and they were just I don't know if they were trying to put me back into the sleep state, put me back into the matrix. Like I don't know what they were doing, but it was crazy. It was so crazy. And then as far as I can remember, those were like the biggest like visuals I got from this experience. And then after that, I was just kind of like astral traveling and just in other planes and just, you know, I can't really recall too much what happened after that. I just, because that kind of did just send me into like a little bit of like, not a psychosis, but like I was tripped out. I wasn't sure how to react. And eventually what brought me out was that I kind of started vibrating and shaking again. And one of the, I can't remember if it was a crystal that was on my third eye or if it was just on the mat itself. But it like came off the mat and hit the floor, and it hit the floor like it sounded like the window closed. In my mind, I was thinking the window wasn't open. So, but it sounded like the window just like dropped and closed. But like it was a loud just slam. And I just had one of those moments where again I'm in shavasana. So when I heard that noise, I literally like like I came out like freaked out. My crystals went flying. Like I just, oh my gosh, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. So such an experience, honestly. And you know, once I was kind of integrating that afterwards, I looked around. I'm completely alone in my room. It's like again 3 in the morning, maybe 4 in the morning. It was late. Like it was late. So I knew I was alone. I didn't know what that. It took me a while to realize that it was the crystal that fell, on the ground. But it just made such a loud noise. Like it was hard for me to really believe that it was the crystal. I honestly feel like something picked it up and went, like. But that's just how I see things. I definitely am tapped in with the spirit world, so I definitely felt like something was just like, I'm gonna wake you up now. Maybe my higher guides knew it was time for me to come out of that, or else I would have probably been there who knows how long. And so after that, I decided to pull some cards, and then even the cards I pulled after that, just because I need a little bit more clarity on just what I experienced. And I pulled the Fool, the Star, and the Death card. Again, 3 major arcana cards. And they were all very fitting because I truly felt like I went through a whole death, rebirth, transition phase. I was starting a new spiritual journey because I truly had the breakthrough that I set the intention I wanted. Because I don't know, maybe you guys could tell me in the comments how you would react or feel to something like that. But again, mind you, this is my own experience, and this is what helps me form my own beliefs and perspective on life and what exists. And that's just what happened. Like, that's just what happened. The story was crazy. And you know, I haven't told too many people this story, but because again, I feel like people just like, the fuck. But this is what I experienced, and it made me a believer in angels and demons and heaven, and I wouldn't say hell per se, but just like it made me believe in just okay. It definitely was okay. We in a matrix, and mind you too, this wasn't the first time I saw like the simulation. There was many times prior to this experience where I was lit, and I was on some psychedelic medicine, but I was like just on a quick tangent. I went to the beach with my ex once, and it was nighttime, and yo, like I saw the simulation grid in the sky. Like the whole sky turned into like literally like Chicken Little, like the sky is falling. Like that's what the whole like sky and then everything looked like, and everything just started to like it just looked pixelated. If it kind of reminded me. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Scooby Doo movie Cyber Chase when they go into like the cyber game computer. That's what like when everything forms and digilates. Like that's what it looked like. It was crazy. But quick tangent. I don't want to go. I can make another story about that, but yeah, this is just my experience with that. And you know, since that encounter too, again, I say encounter because I definitely feel like I encountered something. I definitely have had many other experiences outside of psychedelic therapy in a sober state, or at least in like some like some good herb state. But I definitely have had more experiences with other beings and other worldly things and angels and entities and demons and stuff like that. But again, mind you too, this is like at this point I was probably maybe like 6 to 8 months deep into like my spiritual wellness, understanding, being a witch at the time, like trying to be like this whole like sorceress and tantress, like, I was just trying to do the thing. I was trying to be all like a witchy with the vibes. So that was just the experience I was having at that time. And, I was just in a space where I felt like I wanted to just kind of like ascend my power and ascend my consciousness. And I definitely did it. And, again, this was 2020. We're in 2024 now. So now this is 4 years later. And again, I've had way more experiences. But I just wanted to, again, I'm feeling the call to like talk about my first experiences. And then we could go deeper into other experiences I've had. But as like my first encounter with, again, I say alien, ET, light being, otherworldly, extraterrestrial, whatever it is, because me seeing that cryo chamber open and seeing what reality looked like, I personally didn't need more proof than that. Like, I didn't. I really didn't. I really did not need more proof than that. And it was definitely awakening. It was definitely, it was trippy. It was really, really trippy. Y'all, just case you are skeptical, you don't have to believe me, you don't have to trust me, but I'm just telling you from my own experience, everything we see in this physical realm is not just everything that exists. Just know that. There are many dimensions, many worlds, many beings, many entities, spirits, whatever you want to call it. So it is definitely a magical world out there. And again, magic isn't always fun and light and rainbows and bright. So just be careful. Again, if you guys are considering partaking in psychedelic therapy, just advise against set a clear intention. If you feel any type of uneasiness prior to doing it, don't do it, because you probably might not have the best experience. Make sure you have someone with you if it's your first time. And again, but you don't need you don't need that to just have those experiences, because again, since then I've had many intense experiences with otherworldly beings, with other things, in a pretty sober state, in a pretty conscious state. Like I was not on anything. You know, it even happened to me once in a car dealership. So that's another story we could talk about. But yeah, it's definitely there's things out there, and I just wanted to share that with you. And you know, I've just recently been tapping more in with my galactic bloodline, my galactic family, and like my galactic light beingness, and so I felt a lot more called to make this story, and yeah. But I hope you guys, if you guys watch this, thank you. I know it's a lot to kind of take in and digest and, you know, listen to. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I'm just trying to recall the things that I experienced, and, you know, I feel like I hit the main points of that. And yeah, so, you know, I'm gonna send you guys some Reiki because, again, I feel like my stories could just be a bit intense. Just allowing the Reiki to clear the aura, to enter the heart, to calm the mind, allowing it to fill you with the divine love and light of the universe, accepting and receiving wholeheartedly. Amen. Blessed be. Aho. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow.